Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Nora, and on this channel, I create and follow a cash based budgeting system. And I'm also working to pay off my debts and build up an emergency fund. This video, I'm going to provide the debt update for December after all of my payments were made in December. And I'm going to include a few new things that happened. Um, so thank you for joining me today. Before I get into all of this sadness, I just wanted to share some happy news. Okay, how to zoom out. I just wanted to share some happy news. My boyfriend and I are engaged. He proposed on New Year's just after the ball dropped, and I said yes. We've been together for quite a few years now, 7 years. About 7.5 years, and we're very excited. And like I've said in my past videos, he's my rock. He is my biggest supporter. He's my best friend. Obviously, he knows about all my finances. We don't share finances. That was a decision that we made when we started to live together, and that is something that we will continue to keep that way. But he does support me. He does help me when I need it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to starting some wedding planning in a few weeks. So, back to the sadness. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so just as a reminder, um, I did have, I do have a Wayfair card that had a balance in 2025, and that was paid off. And I was also financing a child's bike through Guardian, like using a firm to finance it, and that was also paid off. And that was paid off early, so well, they were both, paid off ahead of time by making more than the minimum payments. So I saved some interest on that too. Now, I was following the snowball debt repayment method for much of 2025. I won't be doing that for the next few weeks. I will be going back to just making the minimum payments. And if you've been here, you know why. If you've not been here, I will explain why when I get there. So let's start. I hope you all are having a nice new year. I am, despite everything, and we're going to stay positive. So the next step on the list, and I'm going to list them from lowest balance to highest balance, because that is how you pay off using the snowball method. I'm just not going to be increasing the minimum payments unless I truly do have the extra money. So my American Express card, this did go up a little bit. Please don't judge me. The balance is $865.37. This is actually my balance as of January. I did make the payment for January already. So I did charge the card. I can't remember exactly what it was that I made a purchase of, and I had planned on just budgeting that extra payment into like my next paycheck and paying it down in addition to the snowball amount to, like, you know, make up for that charge. But then that's when I got notice that I was being garnished. So more on that later. So this did go up a little bit, but it's okay. We're going to stay positive. And I hope you all had a really nice New Year, nice holiday if you celebrate. Tell me all about it. I can't wait to hear about it. So I have a few loans out. One of them is with TIAA. I have two separate loans with them. I call this TIAA number 2 because this was the second loan that I originated, but it has the lower balance of, oh, actually, I'm just noticing this is actually lower than Amex now, but that's okay. $831.01. Oh, I forgot. The minimum payment on the Amex is $40. And the minimum payment for this loan is $64. If you hear my cat in the background, I apologize. He's doing his business in his little boy's room. Okay, next on the list is another loan from Upstart, and I call this Upstart number 1. I have also a second loan from them. This was the first one that I originated. The balance on this is $953.92, and the minimum payment is $34.83. Now, I'm also considering how I'm going to utilize some of my tax refund, which debt to pay off with it. Obviously, I didn't do my taxes yet, so I don't know what the refund amount is going to be, but I am considering um, using a portion of it to pay off one of these debts. I'm going to talk with my fiance about which one we think would be best to pay off, probably one with a higher minimum payment. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We didn't even get our tax forms yet. So TIAA number 1, which is the first loan that I originated with them, is the balance is $1,732.64, and that minimum payment is $63.85. I do plan on, one thing I'm absolutely doing with my income tax return is I'm paying my car insurance premium in full, because that sucker is just killing me. It's just killing me. It's like $300 a month right now. So let's see what happens if the premiums go up again. Okay, Upstart loan number 2, which is the second loan that I originated with them. That balance is $2,172.06, and the minimum monthly payment is $70.93. So pretty high. And then my Discover card. So with my Discover card, I do owe $2,833.20. I was actually in danger of defaulting on this card. At this time last year, I was having trouble making all my minimum payments, and they actually reached out to me and asked me if I was having some sort of financial hardship. And I responded and I said yes. And they put me into, I was like, this is over my limit. I have a $2,700 limit. So what they did was they put me in a special repayment plan where they reduced the minimum payment, because this was like closer to $80, and they reduced the interest. And um, when this repayment plan is over, I will be at the credit limit. And I think my minimum payment will be around $90. So this is going to change in the next few months. I don't remember. I keep saying March is the last month, but I don't remember for sure. So that's something to consider when I think about using a tax refund. I don't know if I would pay the full thing or if I would just pay a portion of it. I'm not sure. But I say it in every debt update video. If you all are having trouble making your minimum payments, reach out to your credit card companies, because chances are they want to help you. And Discover was great. They just had a solution for me right away. So I really appreciate that. Okay. The next is the Citi card. This is not my card. This was a favor somebody did for me. I forgot to ask them what the new balance was after the December payment. So I calculated the previous balance plus what I think they told me their interest rate was. So I'm estimating, and this is an estimate, this is not accurate, that it's about $5,213.18. And this has come down nicely. and I pay them $250 a month. This is not the minimum due, but that's what we agreed that I would pay back to them because they did me a favor. Oh, and then my lovely student loans. Student loans. Um, this isn't going to change. This is going to be the same from December's balance because um, it's actually not due until January. So, oh, I wanted to say this before. Um, part of the my boyfriend's proposal plan was he paid for me to have my nails done. Because if you've been here, you know I don't do anything like this, but he did pay for my nails to get done, and it worked out because then he proposed, and now my nails look nicer. So I just wanted to throw that in there because it makes me happy every time I look at them. Okay, anyway, my balance on the student loans is approximately $55,722. Now, this likely went up since I last looked at it because probably on accrued interest. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's clearly the highest debt that I have. We're going to handle it. And that minimum payment is $210. This will be changing. I don't know exactly when, and I don't know to what, but we will. I'm not going to stress about it now. Oh, I have coffee right here, and I took a sip of it, and a bunch of it spilled. That's lovely. Okay. Anyway, all right. So that's the debt list that I showed last month. Now I have debts in collections. And if you already know, I'm sorry for repeating this, but I was surprised very recently that my wages were being garnished. And I don't know, I don't recognize the creditor at all. I don't know what this is for. Um, I was apparently sued, but I was never served. My fiance and I both work from home. Nobody ever knocked on the door. We never got any type of like special certified mail that either couldn't be delivered or needed to be picked up or what. I mean, he works from home too, so he knows. I When I got the notice of the garnishment, I was absolutely shocked. I asked him if he remembered anybody ever like cuz he works in the living room, which is obviously where the front door is. I work out of my bedroom. I don't always hear people knocking on the door, but we don't have a huge apartment, so I likely wouldn't have missed it. He said nobody ever knocked on the door. It is what it is. Um, so that's why I'm going back to the minimum payment amount because you're going to see what they're taking out of my checks, and it's crazy. But let's start with the other collections. So number 11 is the Capital One. Now, I was paying this regularly. The balance on it now is $293.08. What I've learned about collections is that if you try, once you negotiate your payback, if you try to pay higher than that, they will want you to pay more of your balance. Because I guess I negotiated like I don't remember what I did originally, but I guess I negotiated to pay less than what I owe. Obviously, because I don't think it was sold off yet, whatever. Um, and I tried using my snowball method to like pay off the balance, and it just messed up the whole thing. And then I don't know. It was weird. It like, I don't know what I did, but I like wiped out the payment plan and then it wasn't being paid. And then I was just kind of sort of ignoring it like I do. But then when I got that garnishment notice, I really like woke up and thought like, no, this can't continue. I need to just handle this. So I went back in, I created a payment plan for 3 months. For January, February, March, I will be paying $97.70 and then it'll be done. So that's only 3 times. Now I can adjust this, um, but I did my budgeting and I will be able to afford it and swing it even with the garnishment amount. So I'm just going to deal with it. It's going to be 3 months. We're going to be done. My fiance agrees that that's the way to handle it, and that's what I'm going to do. Now, the next one, the creditor is called FRS. I think this is my other Capital One card. You can see I've been very responsible in the past. But I'm not entirely sure. But if I add up, like, if I look at what's, the balance, because I didn't negotiate a lower balance, I'm pretty sure this matches the other Capital One card that I had. So I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. So that balance is $435.34, and I'm paying $37. Now, this was really easy to set up a repayment plan. I did not negotiate the payback amount, but I was able to stagger my payments to where, um, like, I chose the date that I wanted to make the payment. I chose the payment that I was going to make. Um, and this will be done by, I think my last payment is November. It might be October. I can't remember. I have it on a screenshot, but it was very easy to set up. I couldn't believe how easy it was. I know there's probably at least two more collections hanging out there in the wind somewhere. Um, one, they've been calling me, but my phone for some reason blocks them as spam. So I need to call them back. I just don't usually remember to do it. I don't know. It's an excuse, I know, but I am going to get those worked out because I don't want any more garnishments because this is crazy. So my next one is the garnishment, and the balance, because we've already made, well, I've already made a payment because it came right out of my check. So now the balance left is $1,467.25. And they take out of each check, not monthly, out of each check, $236.83. That is horrible. And the only thing that I can think of that this could be was when I was pregnant with my daughter, who's now 3. My doctor ordered, blood work, obviously, but the special blood work is like the genetic one. And she deemed it was, I thought, was deemed necessary because of my age. I was 35 when I was pregnant with her. So when you're advanced maternal age, you're at a higher risk for like genetic issues with the baby. So that's why I thought it was covered. Like when I tell you I saw a bill, I called the doctor's office about it. They said, no, 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 we'll get it taken care of. I said, okay, thank you. And that's what they explained to me. They explained that because of my age, that it would be covered. They just had I don't know what they were doing, but I didn't really question it because this has never come up for me before. Um, and this is the only thing that I could think that it could be because it was close to $2,000 that they wanted me to pay, and then I never heard anything again. So that's the only thing that I could think that this could be. I have no idea who like none of this looks familiar to me. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy. And my fiance even said, like, at this point, just make the minimum payments. Um, and it is what it is. So we think that this will actually be done by April. If I did my math right, the last garnishment should be the April 1st paycheck. So it's not even like this is going to be, all year. It's not. Um, so actually, I could just do the math again based on what they take out. I think that's how we calculated it, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It's going to be done sooner than later. So the debt obviously went up, but it went up not for terrible reasons. I am taking care of collections amounts, and debt being paid is debt being paid. So the new total of debt is $72,509.05. And just for funsies, I calculated my minimum monthly payment of debt And obviously, this is not my choice, this garnishment amount. So actually, it's higher than what I calculated because this comes out twice. It's actually going to be higher, but what I calculated was $1,151.21, but that's actually not right. So let's add this in because this is per paycheck. So this comes out twice. This is horrible. 4, 10, 6, 7, 8, 8, 3, 1,000. So the minimum that I pay, oh my God, this is horrible, is 1,038, no, $1,388.04. Isn't that horrible? I can't believe that. Ugh. But this is going to be done by April. This will be done in March. And this will be done like by October. So we knock out these amounts and that's going to come way down. Because that's already, these two right here is $300. Well, more than $300. So that's whatever. And then I wanted to track my net worth. So right now, the only savings slash investments that I have is really my 401k. I did have, I, I'll explain about my investment accounts in another video, but I'll explain it in my budgeting video. I don't really have any savings in the bank, nothing that, I don't know that I'll be pulling from. I just know my retirement fund because I can't touch it. I can't withdraw it while I'm still employed and I can't borrow from it anymore. 338. So really the only savings that I have to my name are my retirement, which is $23,338.41. So my net worth is negative $49,170.64. But what can you do? It is what it is, and this is what it is. So we're gonna roll into 2026 staying positive. Despite all of this, we're gonna stay positive. It's gonna be a good year. We're gonna knock out 1, 2, 3 debts, maybe 4 and 5, maybe 6. I don't know. We'll see. But it's gonna be a great year. It's already starting out great, and it's going to continue to be great. And I hope it is great for all of you. I hope it's starting out great, and I hope it continues to be great. And thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, can you give me what kind of emoji? Let's do a firework for the new year. Can you give me a firework emoji? So I know that you made it this far. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And remember to stay frugal out there, friends.